Vishal Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandut Pranam, how are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pradam.
I am good, you say?
I am also totally fine. So Prabhuji, do you remember anything?
Yes, Prabhuji. Wish you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday, Prabhuji.
Arey Prabhuji, it's not my birthday. It's 125th Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Of course, Prabhuji. I remember, Prabhuji. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
But Prabhuji, do you have any plans?
Plan, Prabhuji. As of now, don't have any plan, Prabhuji. Do you have any plan, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, we are only two. What can we do?
Not two, Prabhuji. We are a family of millions of people. Let's depend upon the Prabhupada's mercy.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So Prabhupada appeared September 1st, 1896 in Kalighanj, Calcutta on the day after the Janmashtami Ananda Utsav.
He appeared at his maternal home under a jackfruit tree on the bank of the Adi Ganga.
Number 3, his uncle called him Nandulal, but his father, Srila Gaur Mohan Das, and his mother Rajani named him Abhay Charan, one who is fearless, having taken shelter in Lord Krishna's lotus feet.
4. In addition to his childhood names Moti, Nandulal, Nandu, and Kocha, his grandmother called him Kachori Mukhi because of his fondness for kachoris.
Number 5. He have one brother, Krishna Charan, and 2 sisters, Rajeshwari and Bhavtarni Devi.
Number 6. An astrologer prepared horoscope and he made a very specific prediction about the child. This child, when he reaches age 70, he will cross the ocean, become a great exponent of religion, and open 108 temples.
Srila Prabhupada used to visit Radha Govind temple near to his home with his father, mother and servant.
Number 8. When he was 1.5 years old, he fell ill with typhoid. The family physician Dr. Bose prescribed chicken broth. So the doctor came with his chicken broth and offered it to Abhay, who immediately began to vomit.
Number 9. On the roof of Abhay's maternal grandmother's house was a little garden with flowers, greenery and trees. Along with the other grandchildren, 2-year-old Abhay took pleasure in watering the plants with a sprinkling can. But his particular tendency was to sit alone amongst the plants. He would find a nice bush and make a sitting place.
One day, when Abhay was 3, he narrowly escaped a fatal burning. He was playing with matches in front of his house when he caught his cloth on fire. Suddenly, a man appeared and put the fire out. Abhay was saved, although he retained a small scar on his leg.
Number 11. In 1900, when Abhay was 4, a women plague hit Calcutta. Dozens of people died every day and thousands evacuated the city. When there seemed no way to check the plague and old Babaji organized Hare Krishna Sankirtan, Abhay also joined in the dancing. Shortly after this, the plague subsided.
Gaur Mohan wanted Vaishnava goals for his son. He wanted Abhay to become a servant of Radharani to become a preacher of the Bhagavatam and to learn the devotional art of playing Mridanga.
Number 13. His father regularly received sadhus in his home and he would always ask them, please bless my son.
Number 14. Abhay wanted to have his own cult and perform his own Rath Yatra. Naturally, he turned to his father to help. Gaur Mohan agreed, but there were some difficulties.
Number 15. Abhay personally painted the cart, copying the Puri originals. His enthusiasm was great and he became an insistent organizer of various aspects of the festival.
Number 16. Like the festival at Puri, our Abhay Babu's Rath Yatra too ran for 8 consecutive days. His family members gathered, the children in the neighborhood, they too joined the procession. They pulled the cart, played drums, kartals and chanted.
Number 17. At the age of 46, his mother suddenly died. His father gave him solace. He instructed Abhay that there was nothing for which to lament. The soul is eternal and everything happens by the will of Krishna. So he should have faith and depend upon Krishna. Abhay listened and understood.
Number 18. In 1916, he began college. Abhay entered the Scottish Church College. It was a Christian school, but well reputed among the Bengalis, and many Vaishnava families sent their sons there.
The professors were priests in the Church of Scotland, were known as sober, moral men, and the students received a good education.
Number 20. One night after his first year of college, Abhay had a very unusual dream. The deity of Krishna that his father had given appeared in his dream and complained, "Why have you put me away in a box? You should take me out and worship me again." Abhay felt very sorry that he had neglected the worship of Krishna deity, and soon after that he resumed the worship of Radha and Krishna at home.
Number 21. In 1920 he completed his 4th year of college and took BA exam. Afterward he travelled Jagannath Puri.
Number 22. During his college days, he was deeply moved by the Indian independence movement. He was influenced by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, who always carried a Gita in his hands.
Number 23. After college, he has started working as firm's manager in Bose Laboratory.
Number 24. In 1918, he married to Radharani Devi.
Number 25. In 1921, Srila Prabhupada and his wife had their first child, a son.
Number 26. In 1922, Prabhupada met his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at Gauri Bahari line in Ulta Danga main road when his friend Naren insisted him.
Number 27. Srila Prabhupada and his friend Naren both had been raised in Vaishnava family. At their first sight, they immediately offered obeisances to the revered sannyasi.
Number 28. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur immediately told them, "You are an educated young man. Why don't you preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the whole world?"
Number 29. They had a good conversation on the topic of independence and spirituality.
Number 30. Abhay Charan, who was then a follower of Mahatma Gandhi, was deeply moved by the words of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and remarked that the message of Lord Chaitanya was in the hands of very expert personality.
Number 31. After there he begins to associate with the Gaudiya Math devotees and studied their books. The devotees told him more about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and how he was the son of the famous Acharya Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Number 32. In 1923, Abhay along with his family moved to Allahabad to start his new shop, Prayag Pharmacy.
Number 33. He partnered Dr. Ghosh, who agreed to become a physician at his pharmacy. Both Motilal Nehru and his son Jawaharlal Nehru were the customers at his pharmacy.
Number 34. In 1925, on one of his business trips, he visited Vrindavan, fulfilling his childhood aspiration. He loved the sight of Vrindavan.
Number 35. His father left his body
after the congregational Sankirtan at his house.
Number 36. In the year 1932, Srila Prabhupada again met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Caution the procession of pilgrims.
Number 37. Allahabad devotees were proud of him. He regularly attended the matha in the evening and led kirtans, listened to the teachings, and often brought a respectable guest. He had contributed money and had induced his business colleague also to do so.
Number 38. A few months later, the devotees of Allahabad informed Abhay of their plans to construct a new Gaudiya Math in the city. This new temple, Sri Rupa Gaudiya Math, was supposed to be soon inaugurated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Number 39. Finally, he and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta were now face to face. When he was introduced to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur for initiation, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta recognized him and was visibly pleased to see him. He already knew him. Yes, he likes to hear. He does not go away. I have marked him. I will accept him as my disciple.
Number 40. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta called for Abhay to come forward and receive his Harinam initiation by accepting the beads. After offering prostrated obeisances, Abhay extended his right hand to accept the strands of japa beads from the hand of his spiritual master. At the same time, he also received the secret Brahminical thread, signifying second initiation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta added Aravinda, lotus, to his name. Now he was Abhay Charanarvinda.
Prayagraj pharmacy slowly fell into debt. It gradually developed a deep financial strain as a result. Dr. Bose has to take over it. He now decided to move to Bombay and set up the business there.
Number 42. In Bombay, Srila Prabhupada rented an apartment on Grand Road. And whatever knowledge he gained as a manager from Bose's laboratory, started his own pharmaceutical factory.
Number 43. February 25, 1935. It was the 62nd Vyas Puja of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. For the occasion, Abhay wrote a poem. Until now, no one knew that he could preach in English so expertly.
Number 44. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also found the essay pleasing. He showed it to some of his confidential devotees. He instructed the editor of the Harmonist, whatever he writes, publish it. Number 45. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said directly to Abhay, Amar Ichha Chila Kichubai Karana. I had a desire to print some books. If you ever get money, print books. Standing by Radhakund and beholding his spiritual master, Abhay felt the words deeply enter his own life.
Number 46. In December of 1936, Srila Prabhupada, then known as Abhay Charanarvinda Das, wrote a letter to his guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada, to which his guru replied, quote, "Turn yourself into a very good English preacher. That would do much better for yourself as well as your audience."
Number 47. Now there was no more doubt to purpose of his life and what his spiritual master wanted him to accomplish.
Number 48. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur passed away from this mortal world and entered the eternal pastimes of the Lord on the 1st January 1937.
Number 49. In 1939, that Srila Prabhupada wrote Introduction to Gita Upanishad. It was a short piece, but it signaled his intention on the task of one day translating Bhagavad Gita into English with comments.
Number 50. The sannyasis were so happy with the Prabhupada's writing that they conferred upon him the title Bhaktivedanta.
Number 51. In 1945, Srila Prabhupada saw a dream one night in which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked him to accept sannyas. He wondered how he could afford to take sannyas at that point of time. He had family and businesses to look after.
Point number 52. He started a new business, investing 40,000 rupees, and then he opened a new factory in Lucknow named Abhay Charande and Sons.
Number 53. But Krishna had other plans in 1948. He had to close his business due to loss. He failed in all business. 54.
Krishna was forcing him into helpless position and freeing him up for his preaching activities.
Number 55. Srila Prabhupada then tried his preaching in Jhansi, where he formed a body named League of Devotees. He even initiated a person named Prabhakar Mishra, who was a teacher.
Number 56. When he tried to rent a house in Jhansi, he met severe financial challenges and political pressure. He realized that Krishna had different plans for him. Blessing his students and well-wishers, he had to move on.
57. Abhay did not give up, though he did not have even a good pair of dhoti to wear. He could visualize a grand Krishna conscious movement that would be instrumental in distributing the science of transcendental knowledge across the world.
Number 58. He decided to stay in Vrindavan, continue writing Back to Godhead magazine, and deliver them to a printer in Delhi every fortnight.
Number 59. He travelled to Bombay to give seminars and tried to revive League of Devotees. But the organizers were more interested in mundane interpretation of spiritual matters than actually appreciating the transcendental subjects.
Number 60. During one of these days, Srila Prabhupada saw a dream in which his spiritual master urged him once again to accept sannyas.
Number 61. Prabhupada then approached his godbrother Keshav Maharaj, who immediately accepted his request. Thus, Prabhupada took sannyas initiation in 1959 at Keshav Ji Gaudiya Math in Mathura. He gave up his white clothes forever. From Abhay Charna Ravindam, he had now become Abhay Charna Ravindam Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Number 62. Prabhupada returned to Vrindavan and continued with his writing, receiving an invitation from Guru Chand Goswami, the proprietor of Radha Damodara Temple. Sri Prabhupada shifted his residence from the Vamsi Gopala Temple to a small room in Radha Damodara SU Temple.
Number 63. Prabhupada would seek blessings from their samadhis every day. In addition to Back to Godhead, he now also began translating and commenting upon the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Number 64. He obtained a wealthy donor in Mr. Hanuman Prasad Podar, a religious publisher from Gorakhpur, who was highly impressed with his commentaries. He donated a sum of rupees 4,000. Thus, the copies of Bhagavatam gradually began getting printed.
Number 65. It was 40 years back that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ji had first asked Srila Prabhupada Ji to go and preach in the West, but practically he was penniless. And for travelling to the West, he needed a sponsor, a passport, a visa and a P-form, and above all, the travel fare.
Number 66. He approached Mrs. Sumati Moraji, who was the owner of Scindia Steam Navigation Company, and begged her to give him a ticket on one of her ships.
Number 67. Mrs. Morarji finally refused because she was worried about the health of Srila Prabhupada Ji. She doubted whether he would be able to make it through the journey or survive in the cold weather of USA, but Prabhupada Ji was insistent. Finally, she relented and asked Prabhupada Ji to get his P-form ready.
Number 68. Mrs. Morarji finally arranged a place for Prabhupada in one of her cargo ships, the Jalduta, which was scheduled to set sail from Calcutta on August 13, 1965.
Number 69. The day before his departure, Srila Prabhupada travelled at Mayapur to visit the Samadhi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur at Chaitanya Math.
Number 70. Sri Prabhupada boarded Jalduta the next day only with a suitcase, an umbrella and a supply of dry cereals. His main luggage consisted of several trunks of books that were being handled separately.
There was no one on the shore to bid him a goodbye. No supporter, no friends, no disciple. He was completely alone. Mr. Shishir Bhattacharya, whom he had met a year ago at Governor's home in Lucknow, and Vrindavana Chandra, his son, was there to bid him a goodbye.
72. The 35-day journey was intense. Srila Prabhupada suffered greatly from seasickness, dizziness and vomiting. It got worse with the passage of time.
73. In the course of his journey, he suffered from 2 heart attacks.
He prayed to Shri Krishna intensely. He understood that with one more heart attack, he could leave his body.
74th number, Lord Krishna then appeared in his dream and he saw the Supreme Lord rowing his boat. He assured Prabhupada of his protection and asked him not to worry.
Number 75. So, the Atlantic Ocean was calmer than usual. In fact, the captain said that he had never seen the Atlantic so calm.
Number 76. Srila Prabhupada wrote in his diary that if the Atlantic had shown its usual face, then perhaps he would have died in that ship. But Lord Krishna took the charge, and the calmness of the waters was his mercy.
On the 19th of September, the ship docked at the New York harbor. Srila Prabhupada spent the first few days at the house of Gopal Agarwal, his sponsor.
Number 78. After spending a month with them, Prabhupada left for New York. At New York, Srila Prabhupada put up at the residence of a certain Mr. Mishra, who was a yoga teacher.
Number 79. In spite of repeated requests, he received no help from India, neither from any of his contacts nor his godbrothers. At the age of 70, this old man was practically on his own on the streets of New York.
Number 80. Prabhupada moved to his new residence, room number 307 in the same building. This was hardly a room to stay. It was more of a narrow office without furniture and telephone. He started his own classes over there and imparted lectures unto whoever was interested.
Number 81. Things were going on and there were a few students who were taking classes, but then a theft occurred. The thief had stolen Prabhupada's typewriter and recorder.
Number 82. Prabhupada then shifted to the Bauri. The Bauri during those days was full of young people who had abandoned their homes in search of something higher. Most of them were addicted to drugs and it was a real challenge to preach amenities to these crazy people, hippies.
Number 83. One of his student David, being high on LSD, once attacked Prabhupada in a fit of violence. Prabhupada got alarmed. There was an utter lack of security, hence he left the Bauri.
Number 84. He shifted to the residence of Carl Jürgens. But things turned out from bad to worse. Here no one was attacking him but Eva, Carl's wife, made Prabhupada feel very uncomfortable and unwelcomed.
Number 85. Srila Prabhupada's well-wisher, including Carl, helped him to find a small storefront at 26th 2nd Avenue, which was previously used to be a matchless gift shop. And they also promised the Swami to help with his friends.
Number 86. The weekly Bhagavad Gita classes began drawing more and more interested people.
Number 87. In the year 1966, with the help of a local lawyer, Stephen Goldsmith, Prabhupada registered ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Number 88. Prabhupada held an initiation ceremony. The handful of followers he then had took vows and accepted him as their spiritual master.
Number 89. Few days later, he even arranged the marriage of two of his disciples, Mukunda Mai and Janki Jain, who loved each other.
Number 90. The devotees began distributing the leaflets, the advertising, the chanting of holy names. They organized Sankirtana on the streets and the parks.
Number 91. The Swami promised the drug addicted youth that he could get them stay high forever.
Number 92. In the October of 1966, the devotees performed an ecstatic Sankirtan in the Tompkins Square Park. They sang and danced for hours.
Point 93. The program was a great hit. The onlookers and the localites joined in the Sankirtan, being attracted to its spiritual bliss.
Number 94. The New York Times printed the story in the next day. It was the beginning of Hare Krishna explosion.
Number 95. The movement expanded exponentially. From this point, more and more American youth took up the teaching of the Srila Prabhupada and regular book distribution became norm of the day.
Number 96. Prabhupada would take classes, lead kirtan, manage his society and continue with his writing, staying awake all throughout the night.
Number 97. Huge Rath Yatra festivals were organized across the streets of the US, which attracted more and more American youths.
Number 98. During one of these Rath Yatra festivals in San Francisco, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was introduced to this Krishna consciousness movement.
Number 99. The movement spread across the seas, and the British rock band, the Beatles, and its founder, especially Mr. George Harrison, were deeply moved by the teachings of Srila Prabhupada.
Point 100. My Sweet Lord, sung by George Harrison, which he dedicated to the Lord Krishna, topped the chart all over the world, and it also became the best-selling single in the UK for the year 1971.
Hari bol, Proji, let's go now.
Go?
Yes.
Where go?
It's finished, no?
Come on, it was just the pastimes. Now we have to listen to the 25 achievements of Srila Prabhupada.
Wow, amazing. They also want to listen.
Do you?
Yes. Haribol!
101. He translated and wrote the purport of 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita.
Number 102. Reading one verse of Bhagavad Gita with purport daily would take 2 years to complete.
Number 103. He translated and wrote purport of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Number 104. Reading of one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam with purport daily would take the readers 49.3 years to complete.
Number 105. He translated and wrote the purports to the 17th volume of Chaitanya Charitamrita. In total, 2170 pages or 11,555 verses.
Number 106. Reading one verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita with purport daily would take the reader 31.6 years to complete. Reading one page daily would take 5.9 years to complete.
Number 107. He also wrote the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, teachings of Lord Kapila Dev, and Sri Isopanishad.
Number 108. He created Back to Godhead magazine, which was monthly distributed in 1 million copies.
109. He wrote 7,000 letters to his disciples, which was published in 5 volumes of books.
Only Srimad Bhagavatam lectures he gave are compiled in 11 volumes of books.
Bhagavad Gita lectures are compiled in 7 volumes of books.
112. His conversations have been compiled in 42 volumes of books.
Number 113. He produced innumerable recordings.
114. He established 108 temples.
115. He published 147 books. Reading one book monthly, it would take 13 years.
116. He traveled around the world 14 times.
Number 117. Srila Prabhupada changed lives of many people. Out of them, 5,000 people became his initiated disciples.
Number 118. And of all this, Srila Prabhupada did this in just 11 years, in the age between 70 to 80.
Number 119. He sent his followers chanting the name of the God into the street of cities and towns everywhere, and Hare Krishna became famous in every corner of the world. Number 120. He introduced Sunday Love Feast and other prasadam distribution programs that provided millions of free meals to the public.
Number 121. He created the world's first chain of vegetarian restaurants.
Number 122. He launched the ISKCON Life Membership Program that enrolled tens of thousands of members. Number 123rd. He formed the Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust to unearth and renovate the holy places of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes.
Number 124. Srila Prabhupada founded BVT Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in 1972. By 1976, he published more than 5 crore 50 lakh literatures and distributed almost in every country more than 25 languages, making BBT world largest publishers of Indian religious and philosophical text.
Number 125. On 14th November 1977, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada entered into eternal pastimes of Shri Radha Krishna Leela. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।